Your mind is your greatest weapon because it holds the power to shape your reality, define your limits, and decide your future. Every victory, every breakthrough, every act of resilience begins first as a thought. The way you think determines the way you act, and the way you act shapes the life you live. When your mind is strong, nothing outside of you can truly defeat you. Challenges become opportunities, obstacles become lessons, and setbacks become setups for a greater comeback. There will always be moments when the world feels heavy and circumstances seem overwhelming. It is in those moments that the true strength of your mind is tested. Your thoughts can either pull you deeper into despair or lift you into the light of possibility. What you choose to believe about yourself and your situation will dictate whether you remain stuck or move forward. A sharpened mind knows that failure is not the end, but a part of growth. It refuses to be controlled by fear, doubt, or the voices that say it cannot be done. The mind is a tool, but like any weapon, it must be trained, refined, and disciplined. If you fill it with negativity, it will work against you. But if you feed it with determination, clarity, and belief, it will work for you in ways that seem almost unstoppable. A strong mind is not built in moments of comfort, but in the times when you push through uncertainty and pain. Every time you choose to keep going despite the odds, you sharpen the edge of that weapon. You carry within you the ability to create a future far greater than your present. The battles ahead will not always be physical. Many will be fought and won in your own thoughts. Guard them, direct them, use them. When you learn to master your mind, you learn to master your life. It can cut through fear, carve a path through chaos, and open doors you thought were locked. No one can take this power from you unless you hand it over. Your mind can be your greatest ally or your most dangerous enemy. The choice is yours every single day. Train it to see possibility instead of limitation. Teach it to focus on solutions instead of problems. Strengthen it with discipline, feed it with purpose, and aim it toward your highest vision. When your mind is aligned with your goals, there is no storm too fierce, no mountain too high, and no dream too far. The world will try to challenge you, but with a mind that is ready, you will face those challenges not with fear, but with the unshakable confidence of someone who knows they are already equipped to win. Your thoughts shape your reality and determine your actions in ways far deeper than most people realize. Every single thing you do, every decision you make, and every step you take begins with a thought. It might be as small as deciding what to eat for breakfast, or as big as choosing a career path. But it all starts in your mind. The way you think influences how you perceive the world around you. If your thoughts are filled with doubt, fear, and limitation, your world will appear small and full of obstacles. On the other hand, if your mind is focused on possibilities, solutions, and growth, the world will open itself to you in ways you may never have imagined. The connection between thoughts and reality isn't magic. It's cause and effect. What you dwell on consistently will influence your emotions, and those emotions will fuel your actions. If you constantly think about how difficult something is, you will feel discouraged and less likely to try. If you constantly tell yourself that you are capable, you will feel motivated and take steps toward your goals. Thoughts are seeds, and actions are the plants they produce. Plant seeds of negativity, and you will harvest hesitation, inaction, and regret. Plant seeds of belief and determination, and you will harvest progress, resilience, and achievement. Your thoughts don't just shape your view of the world, they also shape how you respond to it. Two people can experience the exact same challenge and react in completely opposite ways because their thinking is different. One person might see failure as proof they aren't good enough, while another might see it as an opportunity to learn and try again. It isn't the event itself that defines the outcome. It's the interpretation formed in the mind. Your interpretation is guided by the thoughts you choose to hold on to. It's important to understand that your mind is always talking to you. The inner dialogue you have, whether you are aware of it or not, creates a constant influence over how you feel and what you do. If that voice is always criticizing, doubting, or telling you to give up, it will slowly erode your confidence. But if that voice is encouraging, reminding you of your strengths, and pushing you forward, it will give you the fuel you need to take bold action. Training that inner voice to work for you rather than against you is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. Changing your thoughts is not as simple as flipping a switch. It requires awareness, discipline, and persistence. It begins with catching yourself in the moment when a negative or limiting thought enters your mind. Instead of letting it dictate your mood and behavior, you challenge it. Ask yourself if it's really true or if it's just fear speaking. Then replace it with a thought that empowers you rather than weakens you. Over time, this practice rewires the way you think, shifting your default mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. Your thoughts also shape the energy you bring into the world. When you walk into a room with confidence and positivity, people respond to you differently than if you walk in with doubt and hesitation. Your energy is a reflection of your inner state, and your inner state is built on your thoughts. People are naturally drawn to those who believe in themselves and project optimism because it inspires trust and hope. This means that by mastering your thoughts, you not only change your own life, but also influence the environment and opportunities around you. The truth is, life will always present you with challenges, uncertainties, and moments of discomfort. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you think about what happens. That control is the foundation of personal power. If your thoughts focus on what's possible, you'll act with creativity and determination. If your thoughts dwell on the unfairness or difficulty of the situation, you'll find yourself stuck in frustration. The situation may be the same, but the outcomes will be completely different based on the mental path you choose. Your beliefs, which are built from repeated thoughts, form the blueprint of your life. If you believe you are capable, worthy, and resourceful, you will naturally take actions that align with that belief. If you believe you are powerless, undeserving, or doomed to fail, you will avoid opportunities and settle for less than you deserve. These beliefs don't appear out of thin air. They are shaped by the thoughts you entertain every single day. This is why it's critical to guard your mind and choose your thoughts with intention, just as you would carefully choose the food you eat or the people you spend time with. A strong, positive mindset does not mean you ignore problems or pretend everything is perfect. It means you approach problems with the belief that you can find a solution. It means that when you face setbacks, you see them as temporary and solvable rather than permanent and hopeless. This way of thinking doesn't eliminate challenges, but it transforms how you move through them. You hold in your mind the power to change the course of your life. Every great achievement in history started as a thought in someone's mind, a vision that they refused to let go of, no matter how many obstacles stood in their way. Your own life can follow the same pattern if you choose to fill your mind with the kind of thoughts that build, inspire, and drive action. The future you create is being built right now in the quiet spaces of your thinking. When you choose thoughts that strengthen you, you choose a life that reflects strength. When you choose thoughts that empower you, you create actions that lead to empowerment. And when you take control of your thoughts, you take control of your destiny. A strong mind turns challenges into opportunities for growth because it refuses to see obstacles as permanent roadblocks. Instead, it views them as stepping stones that lead to greater strength, wisdom, and capability. Life will never be without its difficulties. Struggles are inevitable. But what separates those who rise from those who crumble is not the absence of hardship, but the mindset they bring to it. When your mind is strong, you understand that every challenge has something to teach you. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and instead ask, "What can I learn from this?" That simple shift transforms frustration into curiosity and hopelessness into determination. Challenges can break a weak mindset because they seem like proof that the world is unfair or that success is out of reach. But to a strong mind, these same situations become training grounds. Just as a muscle grows only when it is challenged with resistance, Your mind grows when it faces and overcomes adversity. Each obstacle you navigate makes you more resilient, more resourceful, and more confident in your ability to handle whatever comes next. You begin to develop a quiet inner belief that nothing can truly stop you, because you have already proven to yourself that you can endure, adapt, and rise again. One of the most powerful aspects of a strong mind is perspective. While a weak mind focuses only on the difficulty in front of it, a strong mind looks beyond it, seeing the bigger picture. It recognizes that most challenges are temporary, even if they feel overwhelming in the moment. This perspective allows you to endure hard times without losing sight of your goals. It reminds you that discomfort is not a signal to quit. It is a sign that you are in the process of growing. A strong mind also embraces responsibility. Instead of blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck, it asks, what can I control right now? This focus on what is within your power allows you to take purposeful action instead of wasting energy on things you cannot change. That shift in focus is often what turns a challenge into an opportunity. The moment you stop seeing yourself as powerless, you start to notice solutions, resources, and strategies you would have missed if you were stuck in complaint or fear. Every challenge carries with it the chance to learn new skills, develop better habits, and uncover hidden strengths. Sometimes you discover patience you didn't know you had. Sometimes you learn to think creatively because the usual solutions no longer work. Other times, you simply build endurance by learning to keep moving forward, even when progress feels slow. Each of these skills becomes a part of you, and you carry them into future situations, making you stronger and more capable each time. It's also worth noting that many of the greatest successes in life come directly from moments of challenge. People often find their true calling, invent something remarkable, or create lasting change because they were forced to find a way through difficulty. A strong mind does not shy away from hardship because it knows that on the other side of the struggle is a version of yourself you could never reach without it. That mindset transforms what others see as a dead end into a doorway. Of course, turning challenges into opportunities is not easy. There will be days when the weight feels unbearable and the road forward is unclear. A strong mind acknowledges these feelings without letting them dictate the outcome. It understands that strength is not the absence of struggle. It is the decision to keep going despite it. It accepts that progress might be slow and messy, but it refuses to stop moving forward. The process of facing challenges with a strong mind also deepens self-trust. Each time you survive something you thought you couldn't, you reinforce the belief that you can handle more than you imagine. That belief becomes a powerful tool for the future, because when new challenges appear, you can remind yourself of everything you've already overcome. This self-trust fuels courage, and courage is often the key that opens the door to opportunity. A strong mind also sees failure differently. Where a weak mind sees failure as proof of inadequacy, a strong mind sees it as valuable feedback. It asks, what went wrong? What can I do differently next time? This willingness to learn rather than retreat ensures that you grow stronger with each setback instead of weaker. Over time, failures become essential building blocks of your success, not stains on your record. The truth is, the world will never run out of challenges. They will come in different shapes and sizes. Some you can prepare for, others that blindside you. But the strength of your mind will determine whether these challenges hold you back or move you forward. When you train yourself to look for the lesson in every struggle, you become unstoppable, because even when life knocks you down, you find a way to rise with more wisdom and resilience than before. A strong mind turns challenges into opportunities for growth, because it refuses to accept defeat as the final chapter. It uses hardship as fuel, difficulty as a teacher, and discomfort as a sign that transformation is underway. Every challenge becomes a chance to expand your limits, sharpen your skills, and build a stronger version of yourself. And when you live with that mindset, no obstacle is wasted. Every one of them becomes a stepping stone toward the life you are meant to create. Mental strength is built through discipline, not comfort, because the mind, like any muscle, grows only when it is pushed beyond its current limits. Comfort may feel pleasant, but it does not challenge you to become more capable, resilient, or adaptable. True mental toughness is forged in the moments when you choose to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It is created through consistent action, focused effort, and the willingness to face discomfort head on rather than run from it. Discipline demands that you show up for yourself every day, regardless of mood, circumstances, or convenience. Over time, that repeated choice to push forward strengthens your mind in ways comfort never could. Comfort has its place. It allows you to rest and recharge. But when you stay there too long, it becomes a trap. It convinces you that avoiding challenge is safer than facing it, and slowly, without realizing it, your resilience fades. Mental strength is about building the capacity to handle difficulty without breaking, and that capacity comes only from practice. Every time you choose discipline over ease, you train yourself to stay steady under pressure. You prove to yourself that you can follow through even when it's uncomfortable. That proof builds trust in yourself, and self-trust is one of the foundations of mental toughness. Discipline teaches you to control your impulses, which is essential for mental strength. The mind will often try to take the easier path. It will tell you to skip the workout, avoid the hard conversation, or put off the work you know you need to do. When you train yourself to override that impulse and take action anyway, you're reinforcing the message that you, not your fleeting feelings, are in control. That control is empowering. It means that no matter how chaotic the outside world becomes, you can direct your own actions in a way that aligns with your values and goals. Mental strength, built through discipline, also creates consistency, and consistency is what leads to lasting results. Comfort often encourages short bursts of effort, followed by long periods of inactivity. Discipline, on the other hand, ensures that you keep showing up even when progress feels slow or invisible. This steady, repeated effort builds resilience because it requires you to endure boredom, frustration, and moments of self-doubt without quitting. The ability to persist through those feelings is one of the clearest signs of mental strength. Another reason discipline is essential is that it prepares you for the unexpected. Life will always throw challenges your way. Some you can predict, others that appear without warning. If you have trained yourself through disciplined habits, you'll have the mental stability to respond effectively rather than panic or shut down. That stability comes from knowing you've already faced discomfort before and survived it. You've practiced sticking to a plan, pushing through resistance, and managing your emotions in difficult situations. All of that preparation becomes a shield when life tests you. Discipline also sharpens focus, which is a core part of mental strength. Comfort tends to scatter attention because it seeks constant gratification and entertainment. Discipline requires you to prioritize what matters most, cut away distractions, and stay committed to the task at hand. This focus not only helps you achieve more, but also trains your mind to resist the pull of instant gratification. That resistance is crucial because much of life's success comes from delaying short-term pleasure in exchange for long-term reward. It's important to understand that discipline does not mean pushing yourself to exhaustion or ignoring your need for rest. It means making intentional choices that align with your goals, even when those choices are inconvenient or difficult. Sometimes discipline looks like getting up early to train. Other times it looks like resisting the urge to react emotionally in a tense situation. Both forms build mental strength because they require self-control and intentionality. The growth that comes from discipline is often invisible in the beginning. You may not notice your mental toughness increasing day by day, but over weeks and months, you will start to see a difference. You will find it easier to take action when you don't feel motivated. You will recover faster from setbacks. You will face situations that once scared you and handle them with calm and confidence. These changes are the result of disciplined practice, not moments of ease. Comfort may offer temporary happiness, but discipline offers lasting strength. When you choose comfort repeatedly, You avoid the very situations that could make you stronger. You miss the lessons that only discomfort can teach. Lessons about patience, perseverance, and the depth of your own capabilities. Discipline ensures you face those situations head on, turning them into opportunities for growth. Mental strength is not about never feeling fear, doubt, or fatigue. It is about learning to act despite them. Discipline is the bridge between how you feel and what you need to do. It allows you to keep moving forward when comfort whispers that you should stop. Over time, the repeated choice to follow discipline over ease transforms you into someone who can handle more, endure more, and achieve more. That transformation does not happen in the warm embrace of comfort. It happens in the fire of consistent, committed effort. In the end, discipline is a gift you give to yourself. It is the process by which you train your mind to serve your highest goals rather than your momentary desires. It is the proof you build for yourself that you can rely on your own word, that you will follow through no matter how hard it gets. Comfort may give you a momentary sigh of relief, but discipline gives you the unshakable strength to face life on your terms. And it is that strength, earned through effort and discomfort, that becomes the foundation of a life lived with purpose, courage, and resilience. Your mind can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy, because it holds the power to either propel you forward or hold you back before you even take your first step. Every thought, belief, and interpretation you have shapes the way you experience life. When your mind is working for you, it becomes a source of encouragement, focus, and resilience. It gives you the strength to overcome obstacles, the clarity to make good decisions, and the confidence to take risks that lead to growth. But when your mind works against you, it can create fear where there is no danger, doubt where there is potential, and hesitation where action is needed. In that state, it doesn't matter how much opportunity is in front of you. If your mind is your enemy, you'll find reasons not to act, not to try, and not to believe in yourself. The mind is powerful because it controls your perception of reality. Two people can face the same situation and have completely different experiences because of how their minds interpret it. One person might see a challenge as a chance to grow, while another sees it as an insurmountable wall. The difference is not in the challenge itself, but in the mental lens through which it is viewed. If your mind is your ally, it will help you focus on possibilities, resources, and solutions. If it is your enemy, it will magnify problems, emphasize limitations, and blind you to the opportunities that exist. Your thoughts are the foundation of your mindset, and your mindset influences every choice you make. A supportive mind speaks to you with encouragement even when the road is hard. It reminds you of your strengths, your past victories, and the fact that you are capable of more than you think. It helps you stay grounded during failure and humble during success. On the other hand, a hostile mind feeds you a constant stream of negativity, reminding you of your mistakes, comparing you to others, and convincing you that you're not ready or worthy. Over time, this voice can become so familiar that you start to mistake it for the truth, when in reality it's just a habit of thinking that you've never challenged. The way your mind responds to difficulties determines whether they weaken or strengthen you. If your mind is your ally, you'll approach problems with curiosity rather than fear. You'll look for ways to adapt, learn, and move forward. You'll accept that setbacks are part of the process and use them as stepping stones toward success. If your mind is your enemy, you'll see setbacks as proof that you should stop trying. You'll interpret every difficulty as a personal failure instead of a temporary obstacle. This mental pattern can trap you in a cycle of inaction and regret. One of the most important truths about the mind is that it is trainable. You are not stuck with it in either an ally or enemy state forever. You can strengthen it, guide it, and reshape the way it thinks. This begins with awareness, paying attention to the thoughts that run through your head daily. When you notice patterns of fear, self-doubt, or negativity, you have the opportunity to challenge them. Ask yourself whether those thoughts are truly based on facts or simply assumptions and fears. Replace them with thoughts that serve your goals and strengthen your resolve. When your mind becomes your ally, it acts as a source of protection from the chaos of the outside world. No matter what others say or what challenges arise, you have a place of stability within yourself. You know that your worth is not dependent on external validation, and you believe that you have the ability to improve your circumstances. This mental stability doesn't mean you never feel doubt or fear. It means those feelings don't control you. You acknowledge them, but you choose your actions based on your principles and your vision for the future. The danger of letting your mind become your enemy is that it can limit you before you even begin. If you constantly imagine worst-case scenarios, focus on everything that could go wrong, or dwell on your flaws, you'll talk yourself out of opportunities that could have changed your life. You'll stop before you've even given yourself the chance to try. Over time, this creates a self-fulfilling cycle. You expect failure, so you avoid action, which leads to missed chances, which then reinforces your belief that success is out of reach. Shaping your mind into your greatest ally requires patience and consistent effort. It's not about pretending that everything is perfect. It's about training your thoughts to focus on what you can do, what you can learn, and how you can grow. This means practicing gratitude to shift your focus away from scarcity, setting clear goals to give your mind direction, and surrounding yourself with influences that encourage growth rather than fear. It also means being careful with the language you use with yourself. The words you say in your head are powerful, and they leave an imprint. When you speak to yourself with encouragement, you create a mental environment where growth feels possible. When you speak to yourself with criticism and judgment, you create a mental environment where success feels distant. If your mind is truly your ally, it will push you to take the actions that lead to improvement, even when they're uncomfortable. In the end, whether your mind becomes your ally or your enemy is a choice you make each day. You may not be able to control every thought that appears, but you can control which ones you give your attention to and which ones you act upon. The more you choose thoughts that support your goals, the more natural it becomes for your mind to work with you rather than against you. And when your mind is fully on your side, you have the most powerful weapon possible, one that can carry you through challenges, keep you grounded in success, and help you create a life that reflects your highest potential. Guard your thoughts and direct them toward your highest goals, because your mind is constantly absorbing, processing, and shaping the reality you experience. Every thought you allow to take root in your mind has the potential to influence your emotions, decisions, and actions. If you let negativity, doubt, or fear dominate your thinking, those thoughts will slowly pull you away from the path you want to walk. But if you choose to protect your mental space and fill it with ideas, visions, and beliefs that align with your highest goals, your thoughts will become a force that drives you forward instead of holding you back. The mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it will grow. Guarding your thoughts ensures that only seeds that will bear the right fruit are allowed to stay. It's important to recognize that thoughts don't just appear in isolation. They are influenced by everything you expose yourself to. Your environment, the people you spend time with, the media you consume, and even your own past experiences. Guarding your thoughts means becoming intentional about what you allow into your mental space. If you constantly feed your mind with distractions, gossip, or pessimism, it will reflect in the way you think about yourself and the world. On the other hand, if you feed it with inspiring ideas, educational material, and constructive conversations, your thoughts will naturally begin to align with growth, progress, and purpose. Directing your thoughts toward your highest goals is an active process. It's not enough to simply block out negativity. You have to consciously choose the direction you want your mind to take. This starts with clarity. You need to know exactly what your highest goals are and why they matter to you. When you have that vision, your thoughts can be filtered through it. Any thought that supports your goal is nurtured. Any thought that distracts from it is discarded. This mental filtering process keeps you focused and prevents you from drifting aimlessly. Distractions are one of the greatest threats to your goals, and they often begin in the mind. A stray thought about a past mistake can turn into an hour of regret. A passing feeling of doubt can grow into a decision to give up. Guarding your thoughts means catching these mental patterns early, before they grow strong enough to change your actions. It means refusing to entertain thoughts that don't serve you, no matter how tempting or familiar they might feel. Over time, this discipline becomes a habit, and your mind naturally begins to reject what doesn't align with your purpose. Directing your thoughts also means training your focus. When your mind wanders, it often drifts toward what is urgent, easy, or emotionally charged, not necessarily what is important. You must train yourself to bring your attention back to your goals, again and again, until it becomes second nature. This doesn't mean you ignore everything else in life. It means you refuse to let trivial or harmful thoughts dominate the mental space you need for meaningful work. A powerful way to guard and direct your thoughts is through intentional self-talk. The way you speak to yourself shapes the way you think, and the way you think shapes the way you act. By choosing affirmations and internal dialogue that reflect your highest goals, you're programming your mind to see those goals as achievable and worth pursuing. For example, telling yourself, "I can figure this out," creates a different mental state than, "This is too hard." One opens the door to action, while the other closes it before you begin. Another essential aspect of guarding your thoughts is protecting your mental energy. Some thoughts drain you, even if they're not overtly negative. Constantly replaying the same worries, arguments, or hypothetical scenarios can exhaust your mind and leave little room for creativity or progress. When you notice your thoughts looping in unproductive ways, shift them towards something constructive. This might mean brainstorming solutions, visualizing your desired outcome, or simply focusing on the next small step you can take toward your goal. It's also important to guard your thoughts from the influence of others who may not share your vision. Not everyone will understand or support your goals, and their doubts or criticisms can easily become your own if you're not careful. Surround yourself with people who encourage your growth and challenge you to rise higher. Limit exposure to voices that plant seeds of doubt or distraction. This doesn't mean isolating yourself, but it does mean being selective about who and what has access to your mind. Directing your thoughts toward your highest goals creates momentum. The more you think about your vision, the more you'll notice opportunities that align with it. You'll begin to make choices, both big and small, that move you closer to it. Over time, these aligned actions compound into real, tangible results. What once felt like an impossible dream becomes a reality, not because the world suddenly changed, but because you trained your mind to stay on course. Guarding your thoughts is not about perfection. It's about persistence. Even the strongest minds occasionally face doubt, distraction, or negativity. The difference is that they don't let those thoughts take control. They acknowledge them, redirect them, and return their focus to what matters most. This mental resilience allows them to stay committed, even when the path is difficult or uncertain. Your mind is constantly at work, shaping your perception and influencing your decisions. By guarding it carefully and directing it with intention, you turn it into a powerful ally that works tirelessly on your behalf. Every thought becomes a tool, every idea a stepping stone, and every moment of focus a step toward your highest goals. In this way, guarding your thoughts is not just about mental discipline. It's about building a life that reflects your deepest values and aspirations. Mastering your mind is the key to mastering your life, because everything you do, achieve, and experience begins first in the mind. Your actions are driven by your thoughts. Your emotions are shaped by your interpretations, and your results are determined by the decisions you make. If your mind is scattered, undisciplined, or controlled by fear, your life will reflect that chaos. But if your mind is focused, disciplined, and guided by clarity, you can navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and create a life that aligns with your highest vision. Mastery of the mind gives you the ability to respond to life rather than simply react to it. It puts you in control of your choices, instead of letting circumstances or emotions dictate them. The mind is like the command center of your life. Every goal you set, every relationship you build, and every challenge you overcome starts there. When you master your mind, you learn to direct your thoughts intentionally rather than letting them wander aimlessly or spiral into negativity. This control doesn't mean you stop having doubts or fears. It means you know how to manage them so they don't control you. Instead of being a passenger in your own life, you become the driver, deciding the direction and pace at which you move. One of the greatest benefits of mastering your mind is emotional control. Life will inevitably bring stress, setbacks, and uncertainty. Without mental mastery, these situations can easily trigger panic, frustration, or despair. But when you've trained your mind, you can maintain calm and clarity even in the midst of chaos. You can assess situations objectively, choose your responses carefully, and act in ways that move you forward instead of holding you back. This ability to stay centered under pressure is one of the hallmarks of a truly strong and effective person. Mastering your mind also means understanding your mental patterns. Everyone has default ways of thinking, habits of interpretation and reaction built over years. Some of these patterns are helpful, while others limit your potential. By paying attention to your thoughts, you can identify which patterns are serving you and which ones need to be changed. For example, if your automatic reaction to difficulty is to give up, you can reframe that habit into one of persistence. If your default thinking is to doubt your abilities, you can replace it with thoughts of capability and resourcefulness. Over time, these changes in thinking lead to changes in behavior, and those behaviors shape the course of your life. Focus is another crucial part of mastering your mind. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to scatter your attention across countless small, meaningless things. Mental mastery allows you to block out the noise and concentrate on what truly matters to you. It gives you the discipline to keep your eyes on your long-term vision, even when short-term temptations try to pull you away. The ability to focus deeply is rare, but it's one of the most valuable skills for creating meaningful progress in any area of life. Self-belief is also strengthened through mastering your mind. When you control your thoughts, you can consciously choose to focus on your strengths, past successes, and the actions within your control. This creates a foundation of confidence that isn't dependent on outside approval or temporary circumstances. With that self-belief, you are more willing to take risks, step out of your comfort zone, and pursue goals that once seemed impossible. The more you act with confidence, the more proof you give yourself that you can handle life's challenges, and this cycle of growth continues to build. Another vital part of mastering your mind is learning to use visualization and intentional thinking to shape your reality. When you consistently imagine your goals as already achieved, your mind begins to work toward making them a reality. This isn't about wishful thinking. It's about programming your brain to notice opportunities, take aligned actions, and persist through difficulties because it's already convinced of the outcome you're working toward. Many of the most successful people in history have used this mental tool to turn their visions into achievements. Mastering your mind doesn't happen overnight. It's a lifelong process of self-awareness, discipline, and refinement. It involves catching yourself when you slip into unhelpful thinking, redirecting your focus, and choosing thoughts that align with the life you want to live. It's about consistently challenging your mental limitations and refusing to accept thoughts that keep you small. Over time, this discipline becomes natural, and your mind begins to work automatically in your favor instead of against you. When you master your mind, you also master your ability to handle failure. Instead of seeing failure as a dead end, you see it as feedback. You extract the lesson, adjust your approach, and try again. This mindset prevents you from getting stuck in discouragement and keeps you moving forward, no matter what happens. This resilience is one of the most important outcomes of mental mastery because it ensures that no setback can permanently derail you. Ultimately, mastering your mind means living with intention. Instead of drifting through life, and reacting to whatever comes your way, you take deliberate action toward the life you want to create. You set goals and keep them in sight. You make decisions aligned with your values. And you protect your mental energy from influences that don't serve your growth. You become the architect of your own life, shaping it thought by thought, choice by choice, day by day. When you control your mind, you control your destiny. You decide how you see the world, how you respond to it, and what you create within it. Challenges become opportunities, failures become lessons, and successes become stepping stones toward even greater achievements. Mastering your mind doesn't just improve your life, it transforms it. It gives you the clarity to see what's possible, the discipline to pursue it, and the resilience to overcome anything that stands in your way. In the end, the quality of your life will always reflect the quality of your thoughts. And when you master those thoughts, you hold the key to mastering everything else.